What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Refinement. I talk about different ways of earning money online in e-commerce. Today I'm going to talk about 5 different ways you can make money online. Let's get straight into it. Let me know in the comment section below which model you are, or which one you aspire to, or which one you don't like. Feedback is mandatory on this video, so like, comment, subscribe, and leave a comment on which model that you are working on. So the first model is everyone's favorite. It's what most people do. It's just a form of retail therapy. They're looking for the most fun, least effort way of making money, and this is it. You can go thrifting, garage sale, estate sale, sell your friends stuff, sell stuff around the house. The margins are huge. You can make thousands of % profit. You can buy something for $1 and sell it for 1,000. There's no need to talk to anyone if you don't like doing that. But overall, most of the people who do this earn $2,000 or less per month. A lot of people do it full time, and they're earning less than minimum wage when you actually factor in all the time they put into it. Unless there's 2 things that they can do that make it so they earn a decent living. One is a high average sale price. So that means you're only picking really expensive stuff and you don't have a lot of it. Or you have solid systems that allow you to process things really quickly. The problem with this model is that you run out of time. Most people who do this model do it solo, and that can make it difficult because if you have kids or you have a full-time job, you will run out of time. So that's the only downside of the thrifting treasure hunting model. And you can do that for the rest of your life. I consider that the golf of e-commerce. You can do it as long as you are mobile. You can get on that. As long as you can operate a computer, you can buy online as well and thrift online. Number 2 is bulk buying liquidation. This is the highest possible profit you can make in reselling is this model. You'll see the largest stores on eBay or Amazon are liquidation. They're selling other people's goods because there's always companies going out of business. There are millions and millions of lots available, and you have to be really good at sorting. So you can buy these lots online. That's the easy part. When it gets to your house, you need to get rid of the stuff that doesn't work very well and is a low margin. Try to get as much of your money back as possible. It usually requires space, staff, organization. The margins are usually very high, so there's a lot of mistakes that you can absorb into that. The one example of this is you could buy a truckload of credentialized clothing or donations, meaning some thrift shops are so busy they can't even look through all of the donations. You can buy a whole truckload of it, and maybe 4 or 5% of it is sellable. Do you have the capacity and skills to get rid of that other 95% and still turn a profit? This is the highest possible way of making money is this, but it's the most work. Okay, so most work, most profit. Thrifting, least work, usually least profit. So there's a way to look at it, but the profit per item, you think about it that way, is really high with the thrifting retail therapy model. Okay, next model is Replenishables, Wholesalers, Distributors. Usually stores like this have no listing. So if you hate listing, this might be the model for you. It's 10 to 100 items total. It's usually a very, very cutthroat industry. They call this race to the bottom, meaning if you find a really good item that sells over and over again, somebody else is going to find it and try to basically undercut you to take that business. This is a challenging model. It requires some capital. You can't do this with, I would say, less than $1,000 because you've got to be able to buy a minimum order of something. And you definitely need to talk to people because you need to find people who have these products. Margins are going to be typically between 1 and 20% depending on what you're selling. Think Walmart. Walmart usually has the best, lowest price on everything. Whether you like Walmart or not, they're the king of retail as far as brick and mortar goes. They have figured out that model. And it's sort of the opposite of the thrifting treasure hunt model. It's all relationships, and it's very focused on only a few items. I think Walmart stores have under 5,000 SKUs, and thousands of people work on those. So again, it's like only a few SKUs per person. 10 to 100 items is probably generous. You probably are going to have, honestly, 10 to 50 items maximum running the store. So again, no sourcing, no listing, 100% just focusing on a few items. Now we have dropshipping retail arbitrage, which in my opinion is the lowest risk, but the highest chance of suspension. So Most people, most brands don't like you selling their brand for online for a lower price. So you're in danger of the brand maybe shutting you down. If you do retail arbitrage or drop shipping, you can also return the items if they don't sell. So that is one benefit of doing this. It usually requires the least amount of capital. It does require a high barrier of entry in the sense that you need to learn the skills and the software. The scraping software that looks for different deals on websites can be expensive, but again, honestly, this is the cheapest model. If you're working with no money, drop shipping or retail arbitrage is great because you could go to the Nike outlet, buy 10 pairs of shoes, list them. If they don't sell, return them, get your money back. Or you could go from like Walmart or Home Depot, sell that stuff on eBay or Amazon, and use no money until the item actually sells. This is in my opinion, the only location independent model. If you're looking for that you want to work anywhere in the world, this is the model for you. Again, but you're using the time and skill of a VA, usually virtual assistant, to help you because there's a lot of work involved with this model and it's difficult to do by yourself. You're gonna have to have a small team to do this. And location independence, you have to think about the price you have to pay to do that. Okay, usually the people who have the most money are the people who do bulk buying and liquidation. So they could go on a 2-month vacation because they actually have money and savings in the bank. But drop shipping, it's like you can get that location independence right now if you're looking to do it that way by moving to a country that has a really low cost of living, and then also just learning the ropes because you're only selling what's selling right now. And I want you guys to take a second, like the video, subscribe, and maybe get out a notebook and just write that down. That model is only selling what's selling right now. The other models require you to sell something that you might not want to sell as just part of the process, but not with dropshipping. You can literally only try to sell what's selling right now. The software will tell you what's ranking really well right now. It is kind of the best model, but it's also the model where you have to operate in the shadows. People don't like the platforms. It's against the terms of use to actually dropship. So it's not illegal, but it's frowned upon. So again, it depends on how comfortable you are with this type of model. In my opinion, it's like in this model, you're guaranteed to be suspended. So you might as well plan for it ahead of time if you want to play in this game. Okay, finally, retail private label. This is kind of not reselling because it is retail. You're selling the items for full price. And you are the person who created it, who invented it. Think Shark Tank, right? People are bringing their product all the way to market. This requires the most personal sacrifice. Most of the people who successfully bring a product to market pour 100 hours of their hard-earned time, money, everything, sweat and equity into their product to try to make it work. If you watch the show Shark Tank, you'll see people burst into tears like every single episode of the amount of personal sacrifice they did to put this together. Okay, this is like leaving a legacy for somebody. You've just made your impact on the world. I would say this has the most powerful, feeling. This leaves you with a really powerful feeling because you have created something that the world is now selling from nothing, right? You can kind of reduce the risk by doing private label in a sense that something that's already popular, you just make something that's a copy of it. This has become very popular. The example that people always use is like, are you going to make a new garlic peeler or a new garlic press rather? Basically all garlic presses do the same thing. You've just done a better job of marketing. That's one way of doing this without that kind of effort. But imagine you're trying to solve a problem, right? Like, let's say I want to use Face ID on my phone to unlock it, but I don't want to use my actual face so that they can use me for some type of facial recognition. So if you made a software that could use something else to identify and not your actual face, of course, there would be people that want to do that because they value their privacy. But think about the amount of work and effort and research that you would have to do to create a product that does that, right? That's a lot of work up front. You'll see, if you think small business owner, you think someone that's working 7 days a week around the clock, hustling, trying to make it work. That's what you think of when you think small business owner. When you think thrifter, treasure hunter, That person has the identity. They love shopping. They're out there looking for the best deal. They have an eye. People who are like, I have an eye, that's the person, right? The bulk buying liquidation person is more of a spreadsheet person. They're looking at manifests. They're looking at ROI. Okay, this lot costs $2,000. Can I flip it for $5,000 and double my money? It's different than thrifting and treasure hunting. The replenishable wholesale distributor person is a person that's probably sending emails all day. They're probably calling. So your personality is going to help you determine which one of these models works for you. You don't have to commit yourself to doing just one. You can do all of them. But what I recommend is it's going to take you 6 months to 1 year to really set up any of these to any type of degree of success. If you want to know what I truly think would make you the most happy, it would be private label, or retail, making something that's for the world, that solves a problem, that's going to give you the most long-term happiness, and you're going to be most proud of that. You can also sell that brand to somebody else, and that's sort of more of an asset. What's the most fun? Thrifting and treasure hunting. But again, I would say that, I've been doing reselling now full-time for about 3 years, and the people who complain the most and are the most unhappy are almost always in this thrifting treasure hunting category. The other models, people don't seem to get as emotionally beat up, and I think it's the nature of retail therapy, where there's a huge high and then nothing, and a huge high and then nothing, where the other models are more stable, so you don't have those crazy ups and downs. So again, pick your model, pick your poison. Let me know in the comment section below which model you like, which model you want to get out of, which model you want to get into. And then if you guys like, you can always email me at chris@dailyrefinement.com if you have any questions, or you can join my mastermind call, which is you can try it for free. We meet every single day, 7 days a week, and talk about different ideas. Email me at chris@dailyrefinement.com and I'll send you the link to try that. If you're listening to this on iTunes, I really would appreciate if you guys leave a review so other people can check out the podcast and see if they like it as well. And also, finally, this video and all my videos are sponsored by my reseller field guide, which is $35 with code YouTube, and it goes over how I make 6 figures reselling. I am in the bulk buying liquidation model, so I'm buying lots, looking at the stuff. I have staff that work for me. I consider it infinitely scalable, but it is work. So if you're looking for the no work model, thrifting, treasure hunting, that's what you want to go for. And again, that's only going to be limited by your time. You can do as much thrifting and treasure hunting as your time will allow. That will give you that buzz if you're looking for that temporary fix. So appreciate you guys' time, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.